So for the last 2 weeks, we've been replumbing the whole house, changing out electrical. We wound up changing out both HVACs, moved the panel, moved the meter, gutted a couple of bathrooms. Didn't really want to do that, but had to get them replumbed. Tore out a ton of drywall. Didn't really want to do that. So let me just take you on a tour of our 130 plus year old house that we are just finished 2 weeks of living through a major renovation. Just to give you an idea, if you've never done this, what you might not ever want to do in your entire life. So I'm in my office and I wanted an HVAC vent in here, and I got that. But to do that, we had to go up in the attic, replace the entire HVAC unit because it was 30 years old, and had to move all this stuff out of the way and get it covered for that in order to go through the closet and run an HVAC line down. Totally worth it. Was that a mess? Absolutely. This room wasn't too bad. Oh, there's our bathroom. Had to rip the bathroom out. It's just laying in the hallway upstairs. It used to be in there. Had to rip that ceiling out because we put an HVAC in there as well. And that bathroom's in dire condition. We'll talk about that in a second. This room's not really having anything done at the moment, but it has become the catch-all for everything else. We've got rugs, paintings, everything that we cannot put away. That's also where the cat hides. There's always a ladder, no matter where you are. This room we had to clean out the storage room here. So everything from there came in here. The bed has not been fully put together because this piece didn't come in before everybody came. Oh, and then while we're in here, the floors are in here so bad we had to cover them with paper just to get through the holidays when everybody came. And then we had to cut the back of that wall out to get the plumbing run. Not too bad. Pretty light, minor. Now all the carpets came up and we had brown floor, which we got to figure out. But then this bathroom's complete gut job. Had to redo all the plumbing with PEX. There was galvanized in here. Had to go through the ceiling below and obviously take out all the fixtures. We got this whole ceiling's gonna have to come out. So more to go. And there was just a random heater in the wall that we aren't gonna use, so we've disconnected that. Let's go downstairs. That's a lot. And as you can see, it's rained for the last 2 days. And we have a roof leak that's inside this wall, which is causing that, which I actually thought was fixed, but that floor is wet and that's brand new. That's after 2 days of rain. So we got a roof leak we got to fix. That's it. So that's upstairs. These stairs got to get restored, but that's a project for another day. Our bedroom, same thing as upstairs. It's just a catch-all for TVs and whatever else is being done. Looks like a crack house. This room, no big deal. Change some light bulbs. This is on the list. Full reno. Our living room, which we haven't really used much, it now has the den in it and part of the kitchen, and then an extra bed that we don't need, that we have not had a chance to get rid of yet. And we changed the light bulbs in that fixture, and somehow when we plug the new light bulbs in, they don't work. So you've got a halfway pulled apart light fixture that's a random project that's gonna have to get redone. Now here's where the big fun begins. So the couch is now in the dining room. Random vacuum cleaner. Dining room is just over in the corner, and we've got marks on the floor where we've been planning out our new dining room table that we got to do, and we got to move the chandelier, and then this whole ceiling is going to come out because we got to fix that, and the ceiling in here is in a mess, probably because the bathroom upstairs has been leaking on it. Got to get that fixed. Here's another bathroom. Didn't really want to rip this bathroom out. It was a fine bathroom, but we were going to rip it out anyway because we're going to make it a little bigger. And all this came out. There were pipes in the wall that we had to get to cut out. And the toilet, which used to work just fine, no toilet. Tub's got to come out. And then all this is going to this wall's going that way into like a master suite. This is the toolbox for the whole house. And this is the random trim holder for the whole house. Door holders, extra doors. That door came out. The laundry room's going in here, so we're about halfway with that. Got the plug ran yesterday. It's got to go poke through the wall and get all that rewired and plugged in for tomorrow. Maybe this weekend we'll get that done. Dust. The guys didn't put anything there, so when they ripped the ceiling out, oh yeah. When they ripped the ceiling out of the den, we'll go in the den, but when that came down, all that came in here because there was supposed to be plastic up. Yeah, that didn't happen. Let me turn off some of these lights as we go. Yeah. Can't get into the den, but let's go into the den. Den's the current project. There were shelves along the wall, built-ins. There were built-ins in the wall. There was a door here. It's all being deleted. We had to kill this area. There was a chase here with all the plumbing going into the ceiling. And we've had to we're refabricating a chase there. The stove's in the way. We got to move it over here. The ceiling was a mess, so they're ripping that out. And then they're going to take all this texture off and repaint everything in here. So the den right now is the room that is probably going to be the first room that'll be totally finished when we're done. Hardwood guys coming this afternoon to tell us what we need to do with all our floors. And then we'll get these floors buttoned up before we move everything back in. Paint, ceiling, paint. I'll redo the trim and we'll paint the trim. And this room will be the first room that we actually totally complete. And we had this, the reason this project was spun up in the middle of everything else is because this is just a hole in the roof that goes into an open area above, and cold air is just rushing in here in the middle of the night, and we got to get that buttoned up. That's the most important ceiling to get buttoned back up from the plumbing rework. I'm exhausted already. So the washer and dryer were here. They actually the washer went through the floor here. So the electrical panel is now on the inside of the house. There were some shelves, cabinets here. You can actually see outside the house still. And you can see a little nest of some sort still. The electrical panel was on that outside of the house, and we had to move it in. And I had the bright idea. I was like, well, we need to get these pipes out of the way so the electrician can do his work. Well, let's repipe the whole house. And there we go. And then the dryer is going to come out of here. We haven't really done anything in the kitchen yet except just survive. But the kitchen's it's attached to the den, and we've had to rip out the back of the shower to get to the plumbing there. The kitchen will probably be the last thing we rework in the house. And then it's not just all fun and games on the inside. Now, I'll say we had a pretty good plan, but we still wound up probably almost 50% over budget on everything because we just kept running into things. So this is the old electrical. It used to be here, open this way. You'd flip all the breakers. And when they pulled all that out, rotten wood, because this thing had been draining water down in here, and it went all the way down to the seal, and that's gonna have to be replaced. I think that's the only foundation issue we had. Upstairs HVAC, downstairs HVAC, because we had to replace, that one was fine, this one was basically dead, but we had to go in the crawl space. And the plumbers, when they were trying to get the cast iron dug out, the sewer goes right there to the street. They couldn't get underneath the HVAC. So we had to pull the HVAC system. And while we had it out, might as well replace it. And then they had to move the meter to get the electrical up higher because it was basically just right here. And they they had to move the meter away from here and get it down to there. And then today, after 2 weeks, of all of this going on, I mean, there were 4 plumbing trucks here 2 days ago doing all this at one time with about 8 guys. They're going to dig the sewer to the street today. It's really wet. They're going to mess the yard up, but is what it is. So if you ever think you want to restore an old house, One, you better have a lot of patience. Two, you better have a pocketbook ready to go, because when things are moving and you have to decide you're going to spend 10 grand just to keep things moving, you better be ready to make that decision quick and be able to do it. Otherwise, you're going to string out even further. We're moving really fast and we've had really good people helping us do all this stuff, but we had to make some quick decisions and spend a lot more money at times than we had initially thought we would need to. But is what it is. If you want it done correctly, that's the way to do it. I hope this 7 minutes or so has been very helpful for you. Buy a new house, live there and be happy. Don't do this. This is insanity. Emily loves every second of it. We're now moving out of this room for the third time. I mean, I told you every time I said it'd be a lot easier if we just did this before we moved in. Right? That was one of our blow-ups, is we had to have a come to Jesus about the... Because how many? We're in, what's it, middle of February? We've been here for almost 3 months and we've been in solid construction. Samson loves it.
Sam, you're fine, buddy.
He loves the drywall screwing. Just sitting here watching some Bob Vila, this old house, and living in this old house. We're sitting here with our chandelier. This is our dining room chandelier, just on the couch with us. And then, oh, there's our bed in the den. We could walk into the dining room and turn on the lights, but there's no chandelier. We could go down the hall. Oh, we can't go down the hall because there's plastic all over it. Because we're doing the dining room. We could go into this room and take a shower. Oh, can't. Oh, we could turn on some lights here. Oh, can't because those are disconnected. No lights working. We could go in here and do some laundry. Oh, we can't because this room's tore apart and we got to take out this wall in here. I'm tired. I'd like to just go to bed. Oh, we can't because this is our master bedroom because the floors are being redone tomorrow. So we had to clean it out. Could go upstairs. Can't even turn on the lights in this room because they're behind this sheet because the upstairs has been refinished and there's oil-based VOCs going crazy up there. We don't want those down here. Could come into this living room and I could turn on the light, but that light doesn't work either. But this room's completely full of furniture, so you couldn't sit in here if you tried. We're at the brink of hell. So we're living in the house through all this renovation, and it is kind of a mess. Emily gets stressed out by it. I've given up. Everything's just covered in drywall dust and floor sanding dust. Now I think we're in pretty good shape. The dust, we're containing it pretty well, but I mean, it still gets all over everything. Floor guys are here. I finally learned my lesson coming to the dump. Coming into that mud pit. Wear your boots so you don't have to clean up your shoes afterwards. These are the tips and tricks you'll learn. Floors are cured, but there's still rugs laying everywhere. Why? Because we're still living in it. We got trim, 16-foot boards of trim, because the trim guys come in today. We've moved out of the rooms again. The living room, we're out of the living room again. Why? Getting paint. So the dining room is now the catch-all. We've moved out of the foyer, being painted. This room's being demoed again. I've been in here the last 2 days, demo in this room. I'm down to studs finally. I got more to do. This room's gonna have some more demo. I'm down to studs, but I'm gonna rip these studs out. Ceiling's coming out. Bathtub's just laying in here. We're out of the... Last night we slept in here. We put up some temporary shades, pulled the plastic back, had a relaxing night of sleep. But we're out of this room again. We've been out of the upstairs all week because they're painting up here. Jesse's just very upset because all these people are here. Yeah, I feel the same way, buddy. Who decided to move this? So what he does is he hides when they all come. He goes in here. I don't even know where he goes. There he is. He hides in the bathroom that's been gutted. And I'm pretty sure he goes down in the floor. Like there's a drop ceiling. And he'll be in there all day while they're here. Yeah. So he's having to make adjustments as well. This room is done painting. So we're out of this room again. But all the trim's being replaced. And then they're gonna have to come and repaint the trim. They did not paint the trim around the windows. Everything else has been painted, so that one's done. Most of the upstairs has been painted. First coat's in here. No trim being replaced here, so once they get the second coat in this room, this one's done. We're out of this room again. And then we're finally out of this room again. This room's been painted again. And it's good to go, except all the trim's being replaced in here. So you can kind of see this trim was kind of white, nasty. And it's gonna be a little off-white ultimately. But this room's pretty much done. 2 coats. And then we're down to, and then my office. My office is really nice right now. It's a freaking disaster. This stuff's been in here. There's paintings and all kind of stuff that's ready to go. Sheets. This room has not been renovated at all. It'll be done when everything else is done and I get everything out of here. But this has been a disaster for about a month. So, I think this is the last big project though. They'll have to come, we're gonna put window treatments in, but that'll be easy. We won't have to move out for that. And it won't be dusty. Everything we're doing now is dusty. Oh, we will have to, we're kind of in the middle of a wallpaper project. We'll bite that one off. I'll probably finish the bathrooms before I come back to that. Emily may work on that one though. Fun.